Mirror Realms, Episode 9. The Hand That Reached Through the Mirror. Part 1. The reflection that moved first. Maggie had always been told not to look into mirrors at night. It was one of those superstitions passed down through generations, one she had ignored her entire life. But after what happened, she wished she had listened. Because something was watching her from the other side. And now, it wanted out. The first warning. It started with the bedroom mirror. A tall, antique thing left behind by the previous tenant, its golden frame dulled with age. It stood at the far end of the room, opposite her bed, so she could see herself whenever she sat up at night. At first, it was subtle. A strange sensation of being watched. A flicker of movement in her peripheral vision. A shadow that seemed slightly delayed when she turned her head too quickly. She told herself it was just stress. Lack of sleep. Until one night, at exactly 3:41 a.m., she woke up and her reflection was already sitting up. Part 2. The Unseen Presence. Maggie's breath caught in her throat. She blinked rapidly, but the image in the mirror didn't change. Her reflection was sitting there, staring at her. Too still. Too lifeless. A chill crawled up her spine. Slowly, she lifted her hand. Her reflection followed, but too late. It was just a fraction of a second, but she saw it. Her reflection wasn't mimicking her. It was watching her. The whisper from the glass. Maggie didn't move. Couldn't. Her body was frozen with a fear she couldn't explain. Then, ever so faintly, a tap against the glass. Not from her side. From the inside. Maggie gasped, scrambling backward. The bed creaked beneath her weight as she yanked the blanket around herself like it could protect her. The mirror remained still. Silent. But just as she started to convince herself she had imagined it, the whisper came. "Let me out." Part 3. The Hand That Reached Through. Maggie didn't sleep that night. The next morning, she covered the mirror with a bedsheet. She refused to look at it. Refused to acknowledge what she had seen. But mirrors don't like to be ignored. By the following night, the sheet had fallen to the floor. And in the dim glow of her bedside lamp, she saw it, a handprint on the glass. Not hers. Too long. Too thin. Too wrong. Maggie's breath came in shallow gasps. No. No, no, no. She grabbed her phone, fumbling to turn on the flashlight. The second the beam of light hit the mirror, something moved and a hand reached through. Part 4. The Fight to Escape. She screamed. A pale, elongated hand pushed out of the mirror, stretching toward her. The glass rippled like water, distorting the reflection behind it. Maggie bolted. She lunged for the door, but the second she grabbed the handle, the temperature dropped. Her breath fogged the air. Her limbs felt heavy, as if something was pulling her backward. She dared a glance over her shoulder and saw herself standing in the mirror. Smiling. But she wasn't smiling. Part 5. The Aftermath. Maggie doesn't have a mirror in her house anymore. She moved. Started over. Never looked back. But sometimes, when she walks past a darkened window, she swears she sees her own reflection lag behind. And she knows the hand that reached through the mirror is still looking for her.